What it do, Crispy Crew? Today wasn't really a planned video, but it was really just a video that I was originally thinking about. That I just decided, why not just record it right now, since I have a lot of free time on my hands, and I was tired of procrastinating. I got like 3 scripts that I haven't even taken care of yet. The point of today's video actually is or at least what I had in my mind is the benefits of being social. Now, when I say being social, I'm not saying being like a mighty extrovert, this, that, and third, because I'm not even what you consider an extrovert, or at least I wasn't always this way. I think I kind of found a middle ground from extrovert and introvertedness. But growing up, I've always used to be on the side of introvertedness. I always used to be shelled off away from everyone. Always put a shield up, if you will. Like I never really decided to talk to folks for a plethora of reasons. But I think a couple of main ones being, when I was younger, I didn't like talking to people. Like I genuinely didn't enjoy it. Like when I would talk to folks, like some folks like talk to me like, because I guess I was considered the smart kid growing up. Like a lot of folks looked at me and they were like, bro, like the way that they would talk to me would make it seem like that I was different than them. Another way that people would talk to me that got irritated was that they would act so dumb, even if it's on purpose, bro. Like they would like act really dumb, and like when people were being purposely stupid, I don't like being around that. And thirdly, a lot of folks were really annoying back then, at least in my social circle in the time. So like, I just didn't like talking to people. I really didn't. There's some other reasons that off the top of my head I couldn't give you to. I mean, like other reasons that I can really think of is like, I don't know, I really just enjoyed being by myself, which I still do to this day, but like nowhere near to the same extent. I like being by myself, but like with an activity. Back then I used to be like being by myself I didn't even care what I was doing. I could be by myself just sitting in a room lollygagging, just doing whatever, and I just wouldn't have cared. But now going into like around senior year, that's when things started to change for me. For some reason, I just unintentionally became a very social person. I guess for me, senior year was right after the COVID pandemic was at its peak, so it started to die down a little bit. So that's what was my senior year of high school was like. So, and the same thing for my first semester back at college too. It kind of transitions into it, but like really just like I just started making a bunch of friends unintentionally. I started getting myself into social situations and interactions that I wouldn't have pictured myself being in. Like I just found myself being a social person, which so many people that have known me before this transition talk about. And they were like, bro, like a common phrase I've always heard during high school in the beginning stages, or at least no, in senior year when I meet new people, they'd be like, oh, I always seen you around somewhere, but like I just never got your name, or something along those lines, right? Like they say I'm a familiar face, they see me. Back then I used to think that I was going unnoticed and I liked it that way, but now like actually realizing it, I was never really unnoticed. I was always noticed. People just didn't speak to me and I didn't speak to people, which is how I wanted it, but that's just what was going on. And then now that I'm speaking to people intentionally or unintentionally, intentionally mostly because I need something, I'm not gonna lie. That's how it started, but like now it just unintentionally just comes to me, I guess. So many situations where I had to deal with that, right? A couple of crows are flying by my window. I've learned a lot of things from this transition of going from a straight introvert all the way to a straight, not straight extrovert, but like leading more in the middle, which I think I found my sweet spot. There's benefits to being social. One, you get a lot of social connections and hobbies and interests that you have. For me, for my example, at the very least, I have unintentional social connections for other folks who do YouTube. Shout out to Kenny, Ace, and all of them, and Fat and all of them. Also have social connections to people who want to be aspired writers, photographers, editors, some streamers. Like there's so many connections that I have just for being unintentionally social. So I found that a pretty good perk. So I don't know. That's just one example. Another would be I actually expanded my social circle a lot. Like I became friends with people I wouldn't really expect myself, or I didn't see myself becoming friends with, all because I was unintentionally social. Like in 10th grade, if you were my friend, it's because you spoke to me first, or there was a very specific circumstance where we had to speak to each other and we just happened to click. Shout out to Kevin. That's basically how we met after we got kicked out of a high V. Story time for later, actually. But yeah, like just like little situations like that is like, I don't know. I can't really explain too many perks off the top of my head, but like I think I'm using this video as a message to say, just like, be sure, or like try to be a little, if you consider yourself an introvert and you don't feel like talking to anybody, I mean like anybody, bro, it's not really gonna help you in the long run. Especially if you want to actually have a good career, bro, it's not going to. Whether your career is in YouTube, writing, architecture, graphic design, like literally anything I can think of, bro. If you stole a career out to me, I can figure out a way how connections will help you get into a higher stage. Even if you're owning businesses, do you know how important owning a business and having connections is gonna be? Be social, bro. Like, and even if you want to take out the career aspect, humans are very social creatures, meaning it might be helpful to just have a couple of social interactions. Now, I'm not saying just be around people 24/7, because I definitely don't do that. But I'm just saying, just like, be sure to like keep your social connections. Like, of course, if it's toxic, cut it off. But like, I don't know. I can't speak today. What I can say, or what I am speaking, is that it's always good to just be a little bit social. And if you have terrible social skills or social anxiety, you know who you are. You're watching this. But if you have social anxiety or whatnot, just saying hi is the first step, I guess. That's really all I can say to that. You gotta take the right step forward. There's gonna be times where you have to take 3 steps back. But always know this: a step forward is a step in the right direction. With that being said, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate you for watching. And yeah, I don't really got much else to say today. Thanks.